Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Deep Space Carrier. If you missed our live stream yesterday, we moved. We're now currently located here aboard our fleet carrier, making our way out to Colonia. So, still kind of trying to figure out what the process is going to be for all of that. Between 2 and 4 jumps a week, depending on fuel reserves and just how the live stream ends up going. We did 4 jumps this last one, but it was a real stretch for me to try to talk for an hour and 20 minutes straight, trying to keep it interesting while we're just sitting there in the carrier. The format may change a little bit as we go. We may call the carrier to us. We may go back to the carrier and jump it there. I haven't really kind of decided yet how all of that's going to work. And this is also the first episode after having jumped our carrier and starting our actual journey out into space. So we're just going to kind of keep figuring things out as we go. That said, I think the plan for now is going to be something along the lines of I have a route that I got from a route generator for fleet carrier movement. So we have the journey planned out to where we're going, and I currently have the next leg, or the next jump that our carrier is going to make plotted into our system. So I'm thinking what we can kind of do is basically do what we were doing before, where we have a route that we're kind of following, and then we find whatever it is that we find along the way, and then I'd like to go out to the next few jumps to kind of explore along the path that our carrier is going to be going to hopefully find tritium reserves as we're kind of flying through and figuring out where we're going. And then once we get that part of it done, then we can just kind of meander around until I'm tired of exploring, and then we go back to the carrier. Then we can jump the carrier, and then ideally, once we're ready to start mining, the first episode after that will be hopefully mining, getting some fuel reserves done, and then exploring after that. Anyways, for now, we have this system set up. But before I get too far into the video, we'd like to ask you to help us reach our next major channel milestone of 10,000 subscribers by hitting that button right now. The number does not go up unless you actually press the button. Hit the like button to help it spread out to other people so that they can subscribe as well. And after you finish watching this video, we do have 1,500 plus other videos available on the channel. I am an eclectic gamer, so I play a bunch of different stuff. So there's got to be something available that you would be interested in watching. Be sure to head over to the channel after that to check that out. So, all that said, we're going to head out in our handy-dandy, tried and true, trusted exploration ship, the Phantom Explorer, which is our Great Phantom, and start heading towards the next waypoint on our fleet carrier.
Ship released. Restrict speed until clear of our carrier.
Clear of my carrier, thank you. That's my carrier. Well, before we take off, let's say goodbye to our fleet carrier for now. See you later. And we'll hop into the next few systems. It takes me about 8 jumps to do the 500 light years that the carrier can jump, which isn't going to take us very long to do. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'll go through the next 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 jumps along the route that I have set up. So that way we have plenty of chances, because I want to get to around where the carrier is going to jump and then hopefully find a tritium reserve, a tritium hotspot that I can just set the carrier to jump to next. So I'm hoping that eventually we'll get to the point where we have a route. The route planner ends up being kind of a guideline that we use. And if we don't get lucky and the system that we're going to, it doesn't have a tritium hotspot in it, we can find one that's close enough that the carrier could jump to, so that we can just, jump the carrier there, do a bit of mining with our mining ship, and then that'll be it. That's kind of my vague, half-assed, no experience thought process as to how this could work. Oh wait, hold on. What am I doing? I'm so in the habit of just jumping to different places. What am I doing here? We need to do. I am so lost. Full set. Okay, we gotta start. Okay, it's been a while since. It has been a while since I've done this. It's been a couple of weeks, so I got to get back into the. I got to get back into the swing of doing this. So where is the leave FSS is supposed to be that guy. We need to scan. Okay, I'll get back into this eventually. I gotta get back into exploration mode.
System scan complete.
Okay, so there's nothing here. So now we can jump to the next system. Okay, I'll get it eventually. It's one of those things where you get into a habit of doing things for so long, then you take a break from it to go do something else, and you get all over the place, and then you come back to something you've done a million times before, and you just can't remember how to do it. But we'll get back into it. I got to get back in the habit, because we were in the bubble. There was no reason for me to discovery scan or anything, or because I've already discovery scanned a million things in the freaking bubble already, so there's no point continuing to do that. It was just kind of pointless. As I reiterate myself over and over again. Whatever. You know what I mean. It's hard to get in here and talk all the time. 10 bodies. Okay. So, wait, we got to get back in the habit of honking the system, full spectrum system scanning, doing all that cool exploration stuff that we've been doing this whole time. And now we are looking for... Yeah, we need to be looking for gas. Oh, man, I got to fix the sensitivity on some of this stuff. I had a controller reset yet again, so all of my things are just not set up the way they're supposed to be. So my FS tuning sensitivity is a little high, and I want my mouse sensitivity to be like really high. That's still not quite enough, I don't think. Sorry that you're having to sit here and watch this, but I didn't find out that it was a problem until I was in the middle of this, so... Put it there and see if hopefully that's enough. There we go. That's much better. So this one is... So I need to... this is a new thing I have to start paying attention to. Does it tell me here what kind of rings it has? It does not appear to. Phosphorus, selenium, germanium, zirconium. Cadmium. Okay, so that's all the stuff that the planet itself has inside of it. Hydrogen and helium. So there's no way to find out from here, because I don't want to have to go into this. The reason I'm hesitating is I don't want to have to go into the system map to figure it out. But it's not... It has rings, which is cool. I'm able to find out if it has rings from here, but I can find that... I can find that out from the system map. Of course, realistically, we're still close enough to the bubble that this has probably been identified already. Okay, so we're still looking for biology. So, because we gotta make lots of money now that we have the carrier. We can't afford to dilly-dally around and not be making any cash. So we could afford to go for long stretches in the previous one, in the previous series, because we just had our ship and that was it. Okay, so so now we're gonna have to go into here. So this one has metal-rich rings, metallic and metal-rich. And this one has some icy, but we're too close to the... I mean, I guess I don't really need to start... Okay, see, all of this is a process. Like, you gotta work out all the little details. Like, in hindsight, things seem super obvious, but when you're just starting out and you're initially trying to figure out how you're going to do things, there's too many variables to try to really keep track of, to have all of that happening all at once. So you kind of have to just figure things out as you go. Even the obvious stuff that you think should just be like, duh, it's just not going to occur to you that way until you get into the middle of a situation, and then you're like, oh yeah, duh. So realistically, until we get within a jump or two of our next carrier destination, looking for a tritium hotspot is just kind of pointless, because we're not going to jump the carrier there. There's no reason to mess with that. And realistically, if we're going to do at least 2 jumps, we don't. I could really just start doing. So yeah, I got to start figuring out. So I mean, we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush. So I know I'm pausing here for a second because I'm kind of... I like to include you guys in the thought process, and I know some people don't like that, but I would prefer to just include the thought process here on the recording so that you guys know where I'm coming from. What I'm thinking right now is that I should probably do 1,000 light years at a time as far as my exploration goes, so that... because at a minimum I'm going to do 2 jumps, and I could do up to 4 jumps. So I could do 2 jumps ahead for the carrier, look for a tritium hotspot, and then do another 2 jumps ahead for the carrier, look for a tritium hotspot. And that way I have a couple of options depending on what decisions I make. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. But that being said, we're not necessarily in a rush either. And even with 42 bodies here, like we're at the point now where I kind of want to like have a chance of finding like really interesting stuff, interesting biology. And we're not going to find that if I'm only looking for systems that are going to have stratum tectonicus in it. Because while it's nice to find the stratum tectonicus, and it makes a lot of money, it makes a lot of money, I don't necessarily want to just focus on that. So, yeah. We're going to be a little bit more thorough in our exploration now, because I would like to have a chance at finding some interesting looking biology. Even if it's not necessarily the most profitable biology from a content perspective, the more interesting visual things that we can find, the better. So, as much as I don't necessarily want to sit here and scan through 42 individual items, I think we're gonna return to our. On the bigger systems, I'm gonna stick to just because I don't want to sit in one place for 40 freaking scans. That's a lot for me. I get bored real fast. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of go back to our. If I can find some high metal content planets in the systems with like 30 and 40 bodies in it, we'll just search those and see if maybe we can find some stratum tectonicus. If we jump into a system and it has, say, 20 or less bodies in it, we'll do a full scan of all of that and see if maybe we can find some interesting biology. I realize that not being 100% thorough is going to means we're probably going to miss things. We're almost certainly going to miss some things, but I can't spend all that time doing 40 bodies. That's a lot. That's a lot of, especially because they don't make it, especially because they've made it so you can't just like cycle your way through them. You have to manually search for them. So it just takes a long time to scan through all of that, and I don't want to. So yeah, we're gonna implement some personal filters in what we stop and how we're looking and all of that stuff. Kind of the way we did on our way out to Beagle Point and most of the way back before I changed to just looking for high metal content planets. But, we're going to be a little bit more thorough now because ideally we want to find some interesting things to look at. And we're only going to find that if we actually stop and look for stuff. So that's kind of my thought process there. So I'm going to set an arbitrary limit of about 22, around 20. Around 20. We'll go ahead and stop and look at this one. Because 2,000, it doesn't take very long to go 2,000 light years. Well, we'll get that done in a couple of episodes. So we want to make sure we have enough. So let's see, where's the orbital plane here? No biology there. This guy here. Should be plenty of stuff around this to scan. Yeah, I really wish that this... Well, here we are back to me talking about the things the way I wish they would be. I really wish that they would make this so that you could just, like, cycle through the objects here. Why is it telling me... Okay, let's say it's telling me that there's something here, but then it's not actually showing me anything. Nothing there. Come on. So we're looking up in the top right for features, if you're wondering. I know not everybody has played this game, so you might not necessarily know what it is that we're doing here. have a feeling we're not finding anything here, though. There's one there. There's another high metal content world. Wouldn't it be sweet if it had Stratum Tectonicus on it? Nope, just geological. So unfortunately, we didn't get anything. But I mean, see, even 22 bodies there, that took us a long time to go through and scan those because they force us to scroll around and do it manually. So that's why I set limits on here, because I don't want to spend 5 minutes scanning a single system. Because sometimes it can take that long if there's 40 bodies in it and they're organized in a way that isn't easy to find, and some of them are off to the sides, not in the orbital plane, and it can be a real pain in the ass to scan a system when it has that many bodies in it. Even a 10-body system can sometimes take a while if you can't find them all, and eventually you're just like, you know what, I'm done looking in this system. So just the way that they chose to implement the full spectrum system scanner, I have to set a limit because it drives me insane to try to find that many bodies with this like hyper manual way of doing it. It's just really annoying. Okay, so we got. Oh, that takes care of all the asteroids. That's good. At least they don't make you go through and look at all the asteroids. That's at least something. Okay, so there. Could be another gas giant somewhere. And like how, even just to get to this one planet, I had to go through 3 levels to find it. Oop, 2 biological there. We'll go check that out. It's probably just going to be some Fonticula. Oh, there's more biology there. I don't know. Does it make sense to do that? Because here, we already know what these are going to be. We already know what these are going to be. I mean, I had somebody post something to the effect of they went to a single biology planet and found some really cool stuff. They have a screenshot over on my Discord in the space screenshot segment, if you want to go check it out. Link in the description below. But the chances of that happening are like... And almost certainly a 2 biology planet on an icy body is going to be some kind of bacteria and Fonticula. Purple mushrooms. That's almost certainly what they're going to be. And the amount of time it takes to go do that, it's just like, I'd rather look for some other stuff. Oh. That's fine. We'll go. That's fine. We'll do 1. If it turns out to be Fonticula. I mean, how many jumps? Oh, I forgot to turn. Yeah, screw it. We're moving on. I don't want to waste a bunch of time going for what 99% sure is going to be purple mushrooms, which we've seen a million times already on the series. Like, we want to go places that are going to have a reasonable chance at having something different to look at. So when we start seeing 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 biological features on a body, and preferably in non-icy planets, that's going to be what we're looking at. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to be looking for high metal content biology, because that means, and preferably with just 2 biological signatures, because it means we're going to be making some, well, I don't know, this close to the bubble, we're probably not going to go for Earth football. What am I doing? Oh, wrong button. So let's see, high metal content worlds. I mean, we'll make 20 million if we can get some Stratum Tectonicus, but if we can get first footfall, that's 100 million. Features there. Rocky body with 4. We'll go ahead and check that out then. Another rocky body with 4. All these rocky bodies. Is there a reason this isn't showing me what the name is? Okay, there we go. Yeah, all these it's like a bunch of rocky bodies over there that have 4 biology apiece. High metal content with geology. High metal content with nothing. Other high metal content. We got a lot of high metal content in here. I need to stop wasting my time looking at things that aren't high metal content, though. I feel like we probably exhausted the options for that. These are all icy bodies, I would imagine. Yeah. It says we still have at least one more high metal content world, but it's probably around a gas giant, and it's not going to let me find it this way. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, it would be nice if by putting my filter over this, it would put a circle around what I'm looking for, regardless of where it is. Because now I don't know where it is, and I have to go through the rest of the system to find the one last body that I'm looking for. We still have filters set up. Let's look for landfall planets and moon. Oh, hold on. We need planets and moons, landfall planets and moons. And then, which one did we target? Okay. So we'll go scan. We'll spend this episode. We'll spend the rest of this episode getting down there, maybe scanning some stuff. Scanning a couple of things, and that'll close out this episode. Then in the next episode, if I remember that there's other bodies here for us to scan, we'll go scan those. But realistically, if the first body, whatever is on the first body, is almost certainly going to be on the other bodies that are right around it, because they do the I've said this many times. They do the panspermia approach to biology in this game. It seems like. So we have. Okay, I was about to say we have Super Cruise Assist turned on. So realistically, whatever 4 species we find on this body, we're going to find the same 4 species on the other ones. And since we're not necessarily worried about making the maximum amount of money possible per thing that we're doing, I'm probably just going to say skip the other bodies, because we're not going to find anything. We're mostly in like trying to find cool stuff mode now. So, you know, investing the time to go to the other bodies on the off chance that there's something really cool there, I don't know that that's an efficient use of our time. We may change our strategy as we progress through and all of that, and especially, you know, depending on how much money we're making. But for now, I have enough money in the bank to last a while to pay for the fleet carrier, and the exobiology that we do should be more than enough to cover and actually continue making money as we go. So we'll see. Waiting for that surface scanner to say too fast right there so we can get our scan done. We just need 2 probes for this one. Honestly, with the expanded probe radius that I have, it could probably just do 1, but it's fine. Probably need to start experimenting with that. See how few probes I can do. Because, I mean, 1 probe is probably enough to do this entire planet.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Well, maybe not. So, bacteria, concha, frutexa, and tussock. Tussock is all over the place. Let's go ahead and just do the tussock. And if we get lucky and the concha's there, then cool. Wrong buttons. I'm trying to remember all the buttons I need to press. Okay. So yeah, let's get ourselves down to the planet. One of the other things that I tried to make sure of is that all of our ships have the maximum jump range that I can get on them and fuel scoops, so that you know, every time we leave the carrier, we can choose if we would like to take a different ship out. So maybe next time we'll take the Diamondback Explorer out, and then the time after that we'll take the... Hold on, I gotta pay attention, because it's trying to overspeed me. Because, you know, God forbid you try to get down quickly. And then, you know, the next time we can take the Dolphin out, or the Orca out, or whatever, you know. I have a bunch... I brought a bunch of different ships. The Eagle. The Imperial Eagle. I bought a bunch of different ships that I like to have, and all of them have, you know, as good of a jump range as I could get them in a short period of time. And we don't really need a crazy big jump range to just do it like 1,000 light years at a time, if that's what we end up doing. So that's my thoughts. So let's hop down here. We're looking for concha, tussock. I forget what the other one was. So these are all just rocks. We came down in the middle of what was supposed to be a a concentration of biology. Oh, because we're in a freaking... I wouldn't be able to land here anyways because we're in the middle of a crater. All right, let's see if we can find something now. Landing gear out. I'm going way too fast.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, I see something. That's what we're looking for. Back up here, see if we can get some landing going. There we go. We'll grab ourselves some tussock. Get a couple more samples of that. And then probably call it a day if I don't see anything else, because the amount of time it's going to take us to go find other samples of things is like, hey, we got first footfall. Nice. Too bad there's no stratum tectonicus here. That'd be a 90 million credit windfall right there. Tussock ventusa yellow. Okay. Yeah. We just need a couple more of those. The problem with the grass ones is that by the time it renders on the screen, you've already more or less passed it. So I end up having to stop, back up, and then do that. Like, I really wish that they would turn up how far away, or find a way to make it render like at least a basic something. It doesn't have to be the entire texture. Just have some dots or something appear on the ground so that I know that there's something there instead of making me fly right over it. Because in real life, you'd be able to spot this stuff from really far away. I shouldn't have to be on top of it before it appears in front of me. That's kind of dumb. And I still haven't seen anything else here, so we'll grab the one sample and then call it a video. Because, we're not at the point yet where I'm overly worried about making money. Ideally, because we're choosing to focus on exobiology while we do this, the money will just kind of come naturally as we explore. It really should. So this right here should be enough. Find a spot to put down. There we go. All right, well, hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button if you did so that the YouTube algorithm will know, and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not a subscriber, please help us reach that 10,000 subscriber mark by pressing the button now. The number does not go up unless you actually press the button, so be sure to do that now. If you'd like to support the channel, we do have the thanks button available, sort of YouTube version of a tip. If you would like to become a member and gain access to certain perks, including early access to videos, you can click the join button and check out the list of options available there. Again, thank you very much for watching this episode of Elite Dangerous. Be sure to come back for the next episode as we take our fleet carrier out deeper and deeper into space, and I'll see you then.